Hello and welcome to EI Live Interactive Week. This session is brought to you by SnapAV and Control4. So let me hand you over to Jason Girardier, who is going to take you through the whole session. Jason, over to you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the SnapAV Control4 Essential Install live presentation. I'm extremely grateful that you've taken the time to be with us today. I'm completely aware of how busy everybody is right now, and also conscious of the overwhelming amount of webinars, e-learning seminars and remote sessions that have been swirling around these last 6 to 9 months. So for you to give up some time for us today is brilliant. We put together a great presentation, and let's get started. I just wanted to mention as well that I've got Ella Rumney on the chat as well. She'll be looking after the Q&A. So I haven't currently got my camera on, as you can tell, because I'm broadcasting to you live from my garage. It's pretty cold in here, and I think I look like a bin man. So I think you'd be better off not seeing that. But anyway, you can just imagine what I look like. So just to introduce myself, as David said, my name is Jason Girardier. I am the Area Sales Manager for Control4 SnapAV for the UK North, Ireland and Nordic areas. I've been with Control4 and latterly SnapAV now for 14 years. So it's fair to say I've seen my fair share of change over that time, not least with the colour of my hair and the amount of children I've had in that time. But clearly those two things are related. Just before we get into the agenda, I want to point out that we recently ran this partner update the other week on our broader dealer network event, and it took over 2.5 hours. So to that extent, I want to let you know that this will not be a deep technical session on any of the products, partly due to my complete lack of technical understanding of anything that we sell, but more so the fact that I want to keep this as free-flowing as we can, and I'm conscious of all the time constraints. So this is going to be a high-level, broad overview and a reminder of all the products we have launched in the last 12 months or so. I'll try and answer any Q&A on the fly, but there's a lot to get through, so I apologise if anything gets missed. And Ella will circle back at the end of the presentation with any questions that come in over the next hour. So what we're going to cover are the following 3 items. We're going to go through some Control4 updates, new product releases and pre-announcements, and Snap solutions. And like I say, the Q&A is there at the end too. Another thing to look out for is this icon at various points during the session. As we are consolidating a lot of information into a small window of time, we may not get a chance to go into the details on each slide. So some of the slides are quite busy, and it's really just a note to say that you might want to take a photo of this particular slide and refer back to it at a later stage in your own time. Okay, anyone who's attended one of our dealer events before knows that I always like to throw a couple of these in to make sure that you feel that you're getting something out of these events and they actually have purpose. And today is no different. So just 2 learning objectives here, given that not everyone on this call is currently a Control4 dealer, but I think it should be able to get through these 2 points in the next 60 minutes. So what we're going to try and achieve in the next hour is we're going to cover a lot of information, but the 2 things I want you to take away are name the 3 most recent product announcements from Control4, and hopefully you should be, at the end of this session, be able to name all the Snap brands that we have launched this year and where they could potentially fit into your business.
Hi Jason, it's Ella. Sorry to disrupt you. I'm not able to see your slides.
Okay. 2 seconds.
Maybe just want to unshare and then reshare just to make sure everyone can see them. There we go.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, I hadn't hit the magic button. Okay, where was I? Yes, let's get started. We need to miss anything important there, other than a picture of my face. So we can just see that now. Okay, there's the camera icon, the learning objectives. Apologies for that. So, one of the most significant releases from Control4 this year has been the Chime Video Doorbell. Homeowners want the peace of mind that a video doorbell offers, the ability to see and talk to anybody at the door whether you're at home or away. But today's video doorbells are lacking because they don't leverage the power of the smart home. Introducing Control4 Chime Video Doorbell, the first video doorbell designed for the Control4 smart home. It delivers everything you'd expect from a video doorbell, plus so much more. It leverages the power of the Control4 smart home to stay connected and in control like no other video doorbell. Chime delivers the best front door experience by delivering a full audio and video experience from Control4 interfaces and not just your mobile phone. When at home, you can see and talk to visitors right from the Control4 touchscreen. View who is at the door and hold clear two-way conversations from across the room, so you don't have to find your phone. And while you're away, you can answer the door and talk to visitors right from your Control4 mobile app. With Chime, you can also make your smart home even smarter with Control4 automation. When the Chime doorbell is pressed, motion is detected. For example, when someone steps in front of the porch, receive a notification with a video clip or camera snapshot to find out who is at the door. After midnight, if motion is detected in the driveway and the security system isn't armed, arm it. If there's motion on the yard, start recording. Simulate occupancy when you're away from the house. And everything you're used to controlling with your Control4 smart home can be programmed to do what you want with Chime. You can also control your buttons from individual actions or personalized scenes. While you're talking to someone at the front door, simultaneously unlock the front door or open the garage door and turn on the porch lights without jumping out of the call. Even enable a welcome scene that does all that at once with a single button click. Personalized experience buttons help make homeowners feel like their smart home is really theirs. First impressions are important, especially at the front door. And from the beginning, we set out to build a product that was compact yet luxurious and tightly integrated with the Control4 home that enables automated experiences homeowners love. A few of the Chime highlights that make this such a great addition to the Control4 system include a 5-megapixel camera for exceptional video and picture quality, providing sprawling 180-degree field of view, night mode and infrared LEDs that deliver clear picture in low light settings. Mic and speaker provide crisp, natural two-way audio, 5 motion zones with sensitivity to control to customize your installation to your homeowner's specifications. The great thing about Chime is that it's designed to work with an existing project as well as new construction. If you have a tough retrofit, we've got you covered with a Wi-Fi model. But as always, to mitigate interference or network latency, we always encourage to utilize our PoE model wherever possible. Further, we have taken extra steps to ensure we have a solution for your unique installation situation and really focus on the details. For instance, we have designed a low voltage construction box designed specifically for Chime, creating a seamless installation. We even have 15-degree wedges to help with field of view orientation, as well as back plates that help frame the doorbell and, more importantly, cover those little mistakes that happen during installation. A couple of guiding principles emerged early in this project. Easy to support Chime, even remotely. Offer defaults and push tech to the background where possible to ensure a fast installation. Regarding point 1, we'll continue to invest in remote management, and Chime is a big step in that direction. With the integration of Oversee, you can quickly check your customer's Chime installation, Wi-Fi signal strength, verify the camera with a quick snapshot, and even reboot the device. This is obviously meant to provide the dealer with more information before making a decision whether to go to site or not. And I'll come on to Oversee in greater detail later in the presentation. The availability is as follows. We've now started shipping the PoE in satin nickel. The rest will follow at some point either later this month and early December and into January. There is currently really high demand for this product as we expected, and clearly when things are launched, we don't always have the sufficient stock to fulfill the demand. But just so you know, we are shipping them as we speak, and the rest of the SKUs will follow at some point this month through into early next year. Okay, this is what it's all about. Neo has been an amazing success story for Control4 dealers since we relaunched them over 12 months ago now. It's a really beautiful, slick bit of engineering and something all Control4 systems should have. And for a limited time, we've produced 2,000 of these sizzling scarlet red versions. Once they're gone, they're gone. Unfortunately, on our recent partner event, we were actually giving these away. Unfortunately for you on this call today, we aren't, but I just thought I'd throw that one in there just to dampen your spirits a little bit. As well as new hardware, we've also launched this week a new version of the Control4 OS in 3.2. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes going through what's new on the Control4 user interface. The main improvement to the UI is now Intercom Anywhere is available within the Control4 app. We used to have two separate apps. One was the Intercom Anywhere app as a standalone, and the other was your Control4 app, which did everything else. So now with release 3.2, you can see and talk to visitors at the door whilst controlling your entire home from the Smart Home OS 3 app. Intercom Anywhere, Control4's dedicated intercom app, is now part of the Control4 OS 3 mobile app on Android phones. At launch, Apple and iOS devices will still need to use the dedicated Intercom Anywhere app, but this will be updated later to include Intercom as soon as we can. Because Chime is part of Smart Home OS 3, when you receive a notification, you're already in the Control4 app and can choose to control your home without swapping apps, which was a major bugbear from recent past, having to switch between apps to do two different things, whereas now you can just do it on the same app. Another enhancement is the History Agent. The History Agent records up to 200,000 events over a 14-day period. Chime events are recorded for 7 days, and events can be filtered by event type and date range. If you've chosen to ignore the door because you're busy or you missed a notification, no problem. Smart Home OS 3 gives you a history view that includes doorbell video clips and camera snapshots, plus other events that happened in your smart home today or in the last week. For example, see who came to the door, determine whether your security system was armed, when the doors were locked or unlocked, and see what happened for the last week on your phone or touchscreens, up to 7 days of storage with your Foresight subscription. And just to be aware, some devices in the History Agent may need to be updated for their information to be displayed correctly. Here's a more comprehensive list of what is supported by the new History Agent. I won't go into too much detail on that because you can see for yourself there's a ton of things that we support in there. Feel free to take a picture of that image if you wanted to refer back to it at a later stage. Adding to the list of new features is volume feedback on the SR260. This popular feature was first introduced with the Neo remote, as you know, and is now included for the SR260. The SR260 can now show volume feedback for rooms with discrete volume. Note that this feature does not work for IR controlled devices. This feature can be enabled or disabled within the driver and is enabled by default with OS 3.2. There are also new icons and text added for clarification. For example, when setting up an SR260, new icons and descriptions are available for situations like adding to network, lost network, found network, etc. These new icons and descriptions can help quickly troubleshoot network issue or issues for the homeowner. With the introduction of the Neo remote, we simplified the way you upgrade smart home products. As Neo software updates are released, they are pushed automatically to customers without the need to update the project's OS, starting with release 3.1. This capability is now supported in the Control4 T3 touchscreens and on-screen TV interfaces. This means less work for the dealer. Your customers running release 3.13 will automatically get new graphical elements on Neo, the on-screen TV interface, and touchscreens. Each software release is thoroughly tested before it is pushed out to customers' homes. Last month, we delivered our first automatic update for the on-screen TV interface on systems running 3.13 and above. So the key takeaway from this section, key takeaways are the History Agent, the Chime doorbell, which was a massive release for us, the SR260 volume and troubleshooting feedback, and Intercom Anywhere on the Android app. And as always, for more information on the latest OS, Control4 dealers will need to refer to the release notes, which I know everybody does. Said with a sarcastic tone. Okay, the new product releases are coming thick and fast, and introducing the new T4 touchscreen. Touchscreens are the best devices for interacting with a Control4 system. They provide the user complete system control, from lights to comfort to locks and cameras to media systems, and all through a single interface that is always ready to use. The interface is intuitive to the occasional user and deep for the power user. A touchscreen exemplifies convenience and completeness. It is always on, always connected, always in the same place, and never doing something other than controlling the system. I'm going to get into the details about T4 and how it compares to its predecessor, the T3. The new T4 is faster, more responsive, and sharper, and for intercom calls, it's clearer sounding for both the speaker and the listener at either end of the conversation. There are two model types, in-wall and tabletop. Both come in two familiar colours, black and white. Like the previous T3 models, the T4 models have a 10-inch diagonal screen area, but for the smaller models, they are much bigger than the T3. Instead of a 7-inch screen, the T4s have an 8-inch diagonal, giving the customers an extra 30% increase in screen area for viewing cameras, doorbells, and texts on screen. Okay, let's get into the technicals of the T4 versus the T3. We'll cover the screen, speakers, microphones, the camera, and Wi-Fi. If you're familiar with the T3, I think you can see why it will deliver an even better experience for your customers. I've already mentioned that the screen for the smaller models is larger, but the screen also provides finer detail. T3 had a resolution of 1280 by 800. T4 is 1920 by 1200. That's 2¼ times the pixel density, which means clearer camera images and smoother graphics and fonts. The touchscreen uses an in-plane switching or IPS panel, which makes for more vibrant colours and a super wide viewing angle, so you can see the time or screensaver photo much more easily. Finally, the screen brightness now adapts to the room because the T4 includes an ambient light sensor. You know the size of the speakers matters when it comes to accurately reproducing sound, so that's why we considered how to improve the T3. We choose speaker drivers that have 10 times the surface area of the previous one. One of our beta testers' feedback was that the speakers are, quote, massive. That means greater frequency response, way better acoustic clarity. We ran comparative lab benchmarks for voice. The T3 has about a 56% intelligibility, whereas the T4 has 92%, and for the tabletop version, 98%. So even from a distance, you can clearly understand the voice coming through a T4, but of course, that would require a great microphone on the other side. And the T4 delivers with dual microphones. The T3 has a single microphone that points downward, so you have to be pretty close to the microphone for it to pick up your voice. The T4's two forward-facing microphones work together to cancel noise and echo, and use beamforming to pick up a voice at more of a distance, which gives the customer more freedom of movement when on an intercom call. The T4's audio technology is complemented by a much improved camera. Intercom video between two T4s runs at 1280 by 720 for crystal clear video calls. Compare that to the resolution between two T3s, which was 720 by 480. So the T4 has 2⅓ times the resolution of the T3. So to wrap things up, let's talk about Wi-Fi. T4's connectivity over Wi-Fi is vastly improved over the T3. In addition to supporting both the T4 and 2.4 and 5 GHz bands, it has a dual antenna design that enables it to better receive signals. T4 has a built-in regional support, which ensures that it provides more Wi-Fi channels for a given region. That again beats the T3, which used to have a more restrictive global setting. And no discussion about the T4 would be complete if we didn't talk about how they install. One of our goals to grow Control4's well-established leadership in the channel as the easiest pro-installed smart home system. So let's take this straight on and start with the in-wall. So anyone who has installed a T3, or so we say, try to take a T3 off, will sympathize with this next slide and hopefully be extremely impressed. So the T4 uses the same back box as the two previous generations, but the mid box of the T4 is a new design to make your life, look at that, to make your life easier for faster installs. You hang the touchscreen on a top hook. Spring-loaded pogo pins contact with the mid box's connector plates as a strong magnet pulls it snug. There is an optional screw that you can use to secure the device. And just to be clear, gone is the T3's weird ribbon cable and special removal tool. I've heard many anecdotes about dealers trying to take these things off the wall and causing damage to various customers' expensive wall decorations. So I'm just going to run that little sequence again, just so you get a good idea of what it's going to look like. So look at that, nice and soft, clip straight in and come straight off again. Nice big magnets. If anyone remembers the predecessor to the T3, which I believe we called the T2, had this magnetic clip installation method and was loved by every single dealer that I ever met. The T3, not so much. So we've reverted back to what we did well in the beginning and gone back to these magnetic mounting clips. So that's a massive step forward, or backwards and then forwards again, should we say. I don't know. Moving on. Tabletops. The tabletop also has got a magnetic upgrade. They have a hefty docking base that guides the device in so it seats properly when charging, confirming with a satisfying marimba note. I believe that's the same noise that an Echo makes. The mount kit eliminates the extra arm by using screws that feed up from the base to secure the screen from below. Here's a pro tip. When you can't sell your customer multiple tabletop screens, consider extra charging bases so they can put them in convenient locations. These are sold separately. Previously, if you wanted another docking station for your tabletop touchscreen, you would have to buy a brand new tabletop touchscreen and get the charging station with it. Now you can buy a charging station separately. So if you want someone to move around the house with the touchscreen, not have two touchscreens, you can buy a separate charging station. Hope that's pretty clear. I kind of made that more complicated than it is. Okay, quick recap. Touchscreens are always on, always ready, always ready devices for sophisticated projects. The T4 is designed to be awesome for intercom, great for surveillance, and a natural pair to the video doorbell. There are many ways to tweak a touchscreen to a customer's needs, and with the T4, your installers and engineers will love putting these in. The T4 is available to order now for Control4 dealers and is shipping at the back end of this month through to the beginning of January. Okay, that's the Control4 product launches covered. So we're now going to move on to what we've been doing with Snap for the last 12 months. And we're going to start with Oversee Remote Management. Now this is where it all goes wrong, because I've now got to come off here and play a video. So bear with me. Let's see if this works.
For us to transition to OC has been incredibly simple. It takes 15 minutes in and out, literally. The benefits we see from this is very much that ability to solve probably 95%, if not more, of tickets remotely. If we use Arachnus networking equipment, it's built into the routers themselves. And then, of course, there's no ongoing license fees. It becomes a much better proposition for the end customers. We don't have to roll the truck. We can do things remotely that we couldn't do before. And it's something that customers are really impressed with.
Two seconds, guys. This is what I said. It all goes wrong here. We'll get there. Ella, what can you see? Can you help us out?
Yeah, can just see the PowerPoint, but not in presentation mode. Guys, whilst we're just getting this set back up, please do pop any questions you have in the Q&A, and we'll be sure to address them at the end. Jason, you're back up and running.
We're back. Dear me.
We're back.
What an absolute amateur. Right, here we go. So, note to self, leave videos out next time. Right, we're back. Okay, so after that short delay, and thanks for Nikolai from Indigo Zest for doing that for us. That's it was a really useful video. We've used that a few times since he did it for us. But hopefully that gives you a good understanding of what Oversea can do for your business and customers. But just to recap, as it says here, some of the main features include real-time notifications, remote reboots, modification to site configurations, remote firmware updates, and also a beautiful client-facing app. One important thing to know is there is no licensing with OVC or subscriptions. It is totally free once installed. Also, this is not a brand new technology. Be sure to understand that this has been used and refined extensively for the last 6 years. OVC is the world's most powerful remote management solution in the industry, with over 1.5 million devices managed across 350,000 locations by over 15,000 dealers. It offers rich features that pros need to install and solve problems fast. It's evident that OVC is the platform pros trust, with the frequency of new jobs being daily registered, a new job registered every 6 minutes. OVC is embedded in a number of Arachnus products already, plus it's available via the OVC Pro Hub that you just saw in the video. That was the thing that the engineer was installing at the back of the rack. The video took 3 minutes to run, so I'm assuming that's how long it took him to get in and out and get it all set up. So that's the box that we're talking about there. Setup is simple. You would create a project name, add the devices using the MAC IDs and service tag as shown above. These can be found on the packaging for that device. And this is what you'll see once the device is added into the client's project. Wi-Fi management is another great tool built into OVC. You have the ability, amongst other things, to configure wireless network settings across the whole site from one interface, as you can see here. If we had more time today, we'd have a deeper dive into OVC. However, if you want more information, please feel free to get in touch with me after the presentation. We did some great seminars through lockdown 1, as we'll call it, and we actually called them lockdown learnings. We had some great traction with those. We were doing them every Friday for about 8 or 9 weeks, and one of the topics we covered was OVC. So although I've just swung by it in a 3-minute video and 3 slides, we actually had an hour-long session which we recorded and put back onto the Control4 dealer portal. So all of those on the call that are dealers, you can access that just by navigating to the dealer portal at any given time. Okay, moving on to the Arachnus range of networking products. So why choose Arachnus? Well, it's designed for you by the pro installer, and delivers reliability and quality every time. We have a fully comprehensive product range of routers, switches and WAPs to suit all client needs. The entire range is managed by OVC, so remote diagnostics are easy and support is delivered via the Control4 supporter channels, meaning that if you are installing Control4 with Arachnus, you'll be sure to get full support across the whole project. That's very important to know. We have a lot of dealers that use Arachnus and PackEdge, to note, but we can support them through the whole troubleshooting process if they ever getting any issues with the site. Sometimes if they're using third-party products for network, we struggle to get to the crux of the issue. So we strongly advise either Arachnus or PackEdge for Control4 dealers to use. Okay, moving on to the routers. All our routers have OVC Pro built in. It's great that we have the agnostic option of the Pro Hub for existing networks, but having it built into the 110 and 310 routers is a key asset for rolling out an all-in-one OVC and Arachnus system. Use the 110 for smaller installations supporting between 100 and 150 devices, and use the 310 for medium to large installations supporting between 250 to 500 devices, with the flexibility of working up to 3 WAN ports and 4 LAN ports. With the switches, the key USP on all switches can be monitored via OVC and OVC Pro Hub, obviously. The rear, front, port-facing configurations and top-mounted monitoring on certain SKUs. These can be monitored, power cycles, activated using notifications. The 210 managed, web smart, meaning it's managed in terms of layer 2, multicast, IGMP, PoE, VLANs, and STP, for instance. The 310, full layer 2 managed, larger and more flexible PoE options, great for MOIP, which I'll come on to in a minute, because each port can power at least 7 watts, which MOIP needs. Whereas the 210 is half the capacity when comparing the 24 port switch. The 310 also supports private VLANs and access control lists. Here's an Arachnus comparison chart for you to take a quick picture for reference later. It's quite a busy slide, so if you wanted to just take a quick screen grab of that or a photo, just so you can reference back at a later stage. I will just add, if you've got any questions, please feel free to stick them in the questions section of your dashboard there. We'll try our best to get to them at the end of the session. Okay, WAPs. Only 2 WAPs here, but likely to grow in future. The key USP is Oversee again. The WAPs can also function with or without Oversee Pro. The 510 uses 2x2 MU MIMO option for a small to medium-sized installation in terms of users, and the 810 is a 4x4 MU MIMO for larger in residential and commercial, where support for multiple users is critical. Okay, so just the 2 WAPs there, likely to grow in future. As you may know, here at SnapAV in Control4, we carry 2 networking brands, as I mentioned, Arachnus and PackEdge. If you wondered why you would choose one over the other, here are a few examples for each brand. Arachnus is really the choice of the everyday project, whereas PackEdge lends itself to a more complex project setup. This is reflected in the functionality, but also on the price. There's also a slight difference on the warranty situation, amongst other things. They aren't directly competing against each other, which I think some people get confused with. They are supposed to lend themselves to different applications and different functions and different client budgets and specifications. So if you want any further information on this, again, please feel free to get in touch with us at any stage. Okay, so how we do for time? Okay. We again, we did another session on Arachnus as well as an Oversee during the first lockdown, and if you wanted a direction to get to that session, just get in touch with us. So if you want to arrange any one-to-one training on this or any of the products we've discussed today, get in touch with me, or if I'm not your area sales manager or you're not a Control4 dealer, we'll be happy to set that up for you. I just wanted to quickly touch on PCNA and go through some of the improvements we've made here. PCNA is nothing new. We've been promoting it for a couple of years to the dealer network with great success. As the CI world has moved heavily into IP and IT, we realized the industry needed to level up in this field of knowledge. And PCNA gives our dealers the ability to do just that. Networking knowledge for an engineer is so critical these days to ensure a successful smart home install. Liken it to the foundations of a building. If the foundations are poor, then the house will collapse. Consequently, if your network is poor, then everything you install on top of it will perform poorly and give the customer a bad experience. And we all have experiences of customers blaming us for things that don't work, even though we never touch them. Skyboxes, for example. PCNA has allowed our partner network to become networking Jedis and enable them to broaden their knowledge on all things IP. And it's completely relevant to the CI industry, something that wasn't available via any other manufacturer before. There were obviously other networking courses. You could obviously do the Cisco course, but is that 100% relevant to the AV and CI world? I would argue not. So PCNA came on and we tailored our course specifically to deal with the Pro AV installer from a CI point of view, and it's been an amazing success. So what does PCNA do for your business? The key thing here is that if your engineers are trained to the level of PCNA, they are going to be far better at installing networks, and that means reduced support calls they will need to make to us. Still today, we receive a large amount of support calls from dealers that turn out to be bad networking practice. PCNA would have given the engineer the knowledge to avoid this practice before it became an issue for the customer. As well as fewer support calls to us, PCNA will ultimately lead to fewer service calls, or truck rolls, as they say in America, you will need to make. Given the way that we have enabled remote management on the network and things like self-healing, the amount of times you will need to have to go back to site will be greatly reduced. As we all know, this leads to happier customers, and as we still operate in a largely referral-based industry, happy customers mean referrals, and referrals mean more business coming your way. If you haven't looked at PCNA yet for your business, I strongly advise you to do so today. So what's the change? Well, PCNA used to stand for PackEdge Certified Network Administrator and is now called Professional Certified Network Administrator. So a massive change in the name there, professional from PackEdge to professional. And what does it look like? Well, there's still 6 courses as before and an exam to do at the end. The exam is moderated by a third party, and you get a certification at the end of it, along with a blue package cap, which is worth doing just on its own merit, I'd say. The course covers everything from networking essentials all the way through to network design and literally everything in between. And what's changed? Well, the main change here is that you can now take PCNA using either package or Arachnus. You now have 2 options at the point of order. You can either choose package or Arachnus to take the course with. The kit lists mirror each other. For example, 1 router, 1 switch, 2 WAPs and a PDU on both lists. The only caveat here is that you will be using a package PDU and not a watt box, as it says here. Watt box is currently not available outside the US, so a package PDU ships with both versions. So just to recap, PCNA is now branded to Professional Certified Network Administrator. The curriculum is available for Arachnus and package, and the new enhanced curriculum now covers more troubleshooting, more wireless design and deployment, oversee remote management, and new activities that teach IDMP, STP, and VLAN setup. Okay, so package certified is now professional, and I advise you, if your business needs any further education in the networking field, I would argue that most AV companies are learning IT at a rapid rate of knots, just because everything they have to do is now network related. And if you haven't, I would strongly advise you to look at this. Okay, I'm gonna have to rattle through now. I'm just gonna take a couple of minutes to go over another one of our new brands, which is Luma. We started selling Luma just about 12 months ago, and the traction in the partner network has been great. But as mentioned, we would normally have done 2 physical dealer events by now to promote this and other Snap brands, but clearly this hasn't been possible this year. As well as that, myself and the other sales members of the sales team would have been able to get out on the road and demo this kit as much as we wanted to. So this is a good opportunity just to recap for those who still aren't familiar with the brand, as well as letting you know about a couple of additions to the range that we have launched very recently. Luma cameras are made of 4 distinct ranges, varying in size, functionality and price. Ranging from the 110 to the 710 series, Luma has a camera to fit all prices and project requirements. Last year, in the CE Pro brand analysis survey, Luma featured top in the IP security category, beating competitors like Hikvision and others in terms of popularity in the CI channel in the US. If you aren't familiar with the CE Pro brand analysis survey, it's something that's done every year where the top dealers in the US are surveyed about which brands they carry and use in all aspects of their business. In 2019, Snap and Control4 products placed first in many of the categories we featured in, and I'd encourage you to go to cepro.com and check out, download the survey for your own information. So why choose Luma? Well, we have a full spectrum of cameras ranging from 2 to 8 megapixel and a range of NBRs that go from 4 to 16 channels. The software is built by us for us, which means that you're guaranteed to get a better installation, programming experience and support every time. Luma can also work well as a standalone security system using Luma Link. Other features include no DDNS setup, no port forwarding, no QR codes to scan. Oversee groups and permissions allow dealers to control employee access. No need for on-site visits when a client changes their router, and a PC application which allows full access to the system. Okay, with STDP drivers, Control4 dealers will be familiar with what that means. STDP drivers available in Composer, which is our software. Luma cameras integrate with Control4 faster than any other IP camera, less than half the time to be precise. Control4 push notifications can now include snapshot images from Luma cameras, so customers can see what's happening in and around their property. Luma privacy mode lets customers black out their cameras for privacy whenever they want, based on scheduled scenes or a button press from their Control4 system. Control4 certified driver delivers the highest camera video stream possible for recording a dedicated third stream that can be viewed live on all Control4 interfaces. Here's a quick snapshot of a couple of new cameras that launched recently. I'll come to the 31 and 51 range soon. Feel free to take a photo of that screen for reference. As well as the 31 and 51 range, we also have two new PT zoom cameras shipping very recently. If you are a Control4 dealer, look on the portal for more information on these particular SKUs. Okay, back to the 31 and 51 cameras, and just to be very clear, these are low-cost, entry-level cameras. Although built to the same standard as the other cameras in the Luma range, cameras are only used for standalone security projects only. There is no driver for these for Control4 and no third stream available, which means they do not appear on the Control4 user interface. They do, however, work perfectly with Luma Link, Luma's native application, and the Luma NVR range, so should always be considered if you're specifying a standalone security system. Okay, that was Luma. Now we're going to move swiftly on to binary media distribution and HDMI cables. Our binary media distribution solutions are designed, engineered, and tested in-house to deliver a reliable 4K HDR solution to an uncompressed 18 gigabits per second. Our in-house test and validation team pushes every product to its limits, ensuring strength, quality, and reliability for years to come. We provide an extremely scalable solution that integrates perfectly with Control4 and works perfectly for projects with 4K and ultra high definition. And that product would be called MOIP, or Media over IP. So binary MOIP is the modern way to do AV distribution. As mentioned, binary MOIP uses the IP network as the backbone, enabling 4K HDR content to be sent from a number of sources to a number of displays to create a completely scalable solution. And thanks to our cloud management platform, Oversee, the system is easy to set up, control, and manage remotely. This is media over IP perfected. So this is where it differs from a fixed format, 4x4, 8x8, 10x10 video solution, video switch solution. This is a completely bespoke, scalable solution. So you can have a 1x10, a 2x16, a 3x8, or whatever permutation that you want. So it lends itself very much to residential, but also to commercial applications as well. So if you haven't looked at this before, I advise you to take a look on the dealer portal, contact me for more information. Okay, not just MOIP, but there are more products coming on stream, including splitters, audio extractors, inline controllers, fiber optic extenders. The product range with binary is increasing all the time. Yeah, this is something that we're filling the dealer portal with at the moment. There's a ton of new SKUs that have literally just dropped on there in the last few weeks, and we'll continue to add to that range as more regulatory approval is passed, and we're able to ship more of the binary products that they currently manufacture. There's also a huge range of HDMI cables available for our partners. With this edition, you really can get pretty much everything you want for your project from one supplier. I hate to use the term one-stop shop, which I literally just have, but SnapAV and Control4 do now deliver that one-stop shop solution for all for all custom installers out there. I won't go through all these cables now, but just so you know, there's over 30 different SKUs to choose from to meet you and your customers' needs. All right, moving swiftly on to episode speakers. Signature speakers, which sound unbelievable. Building on the success of the episode line, these speakers took a step up in performance, design aesthetics, and install ability. They were designed in-house using our exclusive push lock technology. That's the red clips that you see on the side of the frame, making them the most versatile, thoughtful, install-friendly speaker line in the industry with lightning fast and secure installation. If you haven't already, I encourage you to try them, as thousands of other dealers globally have told us how amazing they sound and how much faster they can get in and out of a job. We also have a new product category launching from Episode, the commercial range, which is one of the new offerings, commercial speakers, with a variety of different solutions now available with 80 ohm and 70 volt speakers. Dependent series, fully sealed architectural in-ceiling speakers, and our multi-purpose surface mount speaker, which are also suitable for outdoor use. We have a new amplifier that supports all of these new speakers, including our Triad and Episode outdoor speakers, the 1000-watt hybrid. This new power amplifier supports both 70 volt and 80 ohms loudspeakers. Sorry, 8 ohms, 8 ohm loudspeakers. Outdoor, complementing our existing line of Triad Garden Array outdoor speakers, we now have 4 new categories available from Episode. The surface mount range I just mentioned, a range of rock speakers, a superb choice of terrain, landscape, satellite speakers with 4, 6 and 8 inch woofer choices, and a selection of subwoofers to complement the complements available in 8, 10 and 12 inch woofer sizes. Subwoofer amplifiers. We are also launching a range of 4 new subwoofer amplifiers designed to give you plenty of choice and flexibility in your installations. We have a new small format mini subwoofer amplifier, which fits nicely into our Versa back box, which I'll come on to in a second, from Strong. Perfect for installation behind a TV. And then we have a selection of 150, 300 and 500 watt amplifiers. Okay. Response series coming very soon. We will have the new response series amplifiers. For those of you who are familiar with Control4 matrix amplifiers, these products will be very popular. There are 4 models in the range covering 6, 12, 8 and 2 channels, all featuring powerful amplification, fantastic DSP configuration and subwoofer outputs per zone. Watch this space for launch details coming soon, and we expect to see those early in the new year. And lastly, I'd like to take 2 minutes, because that's literally all I've got, 2 minutes to walk through our racks, mounts and projector screen offering. Strong is the brand that we use for racks and mounts, and offers a complete range of first fix products to allow dealers to use SnapAV for their complete custom install project. We offer a wide range of racks, try saying that fast. We offer a wide range of racks, mounts and back boxes to suit all installation types and budgets. Again, yet another brand that featured top in the most recent CE Pro brand analysis. A bit about Strong racks. These fall into a few categories, namely the contractor series, which are budget friendly and available in 12, 16 and 21U. The custom series, which are sold in flexible configurations in 21, 27, 32, 37, 42Us. And lastly, a wall mounted version, which are available in 6, 10, 12 and 16Us. Quality racks with a price to suit every project. Quick assembly includes side panels, top plates and a base that is pre-installed with casters, easily serviceable and perfect for residential installations. Okay, Versa pattern versatility. We know that TV manufacturers are always changing the placement of power inputs and outputs on the back of the TV, so we wanted to make sure we had a solution for any possible design. The single arm articulating mount comes with adapter brackets that go up to 400 by 400. The H brackets can be purchased separately to allow up to a 600 by 400 Versa pattern. Articulating convenient viewing, swiveling up to 180 degrees and extending out from the wall 19 inches to 23 inches and 28 inches for the extra large version. These mounts move with fluidity with minimal force required. As well as racks, we also have a range of versatile back boxes for multiple of different applications, from the standard Versa box, which is ideal to house controllers or balance or even a Triad 1, to the Versa mount, which can be used in conjunction with a Strong mount. These products are perfect to keep your installation as neat and tidy and convenient as possible. And lastly, God, we're right on time here, Dragonfly screens. Why Dragonfly? There's of course other projector screens on the market, so why use Dragonfly? Well, amongst other things, they're designed and developed by pro installers like yourselves, use innovative, durable and technical materials designed to showcase vivid colour, and we have a screen to suit every budget. Dragonfly screens are broken down into these 5 product brackets: ultra black, ultra acoustic weave, ultra white, high contrast, and matte white. Our ultra black projection screens prevent customers from seeing washed out images in rooms with too much natural light. Due to its application, ambient light rejecting material is manufactured at a higher quality than traditional screens. It absorbs and rejects all excess natural light in the room in order to deliver an out-of-this-world viewing experience. Not only does this screen pair seamlessly with most 4K projectors, but it also offers high-definition experiences for 1080p systems. Dragonfly's acoustic weave is acoustically transparent. This means that you can hide speakers behind the screen without dampening the sound or video quality one bit. This finely woven material transmits crystal clear audio through the screen to create an ultimate cinematic experience. Finely woven fabric, which is our trademark film screen, is woven with a closed pitch to eliminate image artifacts while enhancing audio quality. Because it's acoustically transparent, it's perfect for home theatres, conference room, or professional spaces where both images and audio must be pristine. We also do a range of 1080p screens which deliver a beautiful image at an affordable price. These come in high contrast matte white. These come in high contrast and matte white, as you can see here. All right, proper rattling through this. The two learning objectives. One, name the 3 most recent product announcements. Those were the T4 touchscreens, the Red Neo, the Chime doorbell, and all the Snap brands I've just covered. This is where I forget one of them. So we've got Dragonfly, we've got Strong, we've got the Luma. What else? Help, I've forgotten them myself. Gone blank. Anyway, Binary and all the rest of them. So I've just been going through all these new Snap brands. I'm expecting you to learn them in an hour. I've been working with them for a year and I can't remember them off the top of my head. There you go. That's the deal. Do we have time for Q&A? Is there any questions, Ella, that have come in that I can potentially help with here?
Hiya. No real Q&A that's come through. The only one is just asking whether we'll be supplying the recording. The answer to that is yes. We have all of the details, everybody who registered, but as Jason mentioned, there's loads more in-depth sessions that we have available on the dealer portal. So if you are a Control4 dealer, if you go to education and webinars, we've got tons and tons of really interesting sessions that were led by the UK team, but also the US team, which go way deeper than has. So really recommend you to have a look on there. If you're not a Control4 dealer, I put myself and Jason's contact details in the chat. So please do pick those up and let us know if you've got any questions, if we can support with anything, and we'll get back to you on that.
Okay, we are bang on time. In fact, we've got 23 seconds spare. So I'd say that was just about perfection. The technical glitch looked like it was actually deliberate now, just to waste an extra few seconds there. But I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time out, for joining us today. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to get in touch with me or Ella or any of the other Control4 team across the UK. That's it. We're out of time. Thank you very much, and we'll speak to you all again very soon.
Thanks, guys.